What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the issaMonologues channel. So guys, yesterday I did a video and I basically was saying you have the power to change your life, to get out of a dark place, to get out of a stuck place, a stuck mindset, to stop being a procrastinator, to do all of that stuff, right? By building a new foundation. And building a new foundation means changing your ways, your habits, and getting out of what you're currently in, which is not a great mindset to be in if you're watching this video, and making new habitual ways to change your life by habits, right? So I have 2 actionable ways that you can do that, because I feel like people always say that first part, like, you can do it, like, just tell yourself and you can do it, and then that's it. Like, you like, okay, but how am I going to do it? Because I feel like I'm stuck right now. But so you have to do actionable things and you will actually see results, and those results will motivate you to keep going, because you'll see the progress, and that's what you need. You just need to see the progress, because you'll feel that, and that in itself will empower you to keep going and to do bigger things and to do bigger things. So it's really like an incremental step by step that you need to start taking on. So the first thing that you need to do is, because we find ourselves in these like up and down cycles, like that's what life is. But sometimes when we're down, we're really low, right? And it can be really hard to find like a motivating force when you find yourself in a sunken place, a low place. And so pay attention to what gets you going when you find yourself like in a higher place, or like maybe in the past when maybe it's been a while since you've been feeling better in general. But when you're in that up, or you do feel like you got a little bit of motivation, you got a little bit of drive back, you like your ideas are flourishing and things, like pay attention to what you're doing, or like what you're surrounding yourself with. Because once we identify what that motivator is, then it's your job at that point, your effort, to keep drilling yourself in connection with whatever that motivator is. So for instance, if you find that you're an extroverted person, but you've been isolating yourself because I guess you don't want other people to feel that same sadness or downness that you've been feeling, and you feel like you just don't want to be around people, but so you've kept yourself away from people for a while, your friends invited you to come spend some time with them, in your mind you're really just like, it's not personal, I just don't want to like spend time with people. And then you just make yourself go, and then you find out that you actually really enjoy it, and you're like, wow, I didn't even want to come, like I didn't even want to do this, but now that I did, I'm really glad I did. Like, I found myself in situations like that all the time, like dreading spending time with loved ones, people that I love, but just not even wanting to be bothered with people, to be honest. And then once I do spend that time with them, I'm like, I don't even know why my mind ever told me that I shouldn't do this, because I know that I enjoy this, right? So that's how the mind can play tricks on you sometimes and keep you in that dormant state when you don't have to be. So if you know that's what gets you going, like being around people, they get you charged up, certain people in your life, going out, being outdoors, that's a good thing. If you know that's what keeps you going, then you need to start implementing that a lot more into your schedule. Even when you don't feel like doing it, that's your half. Like, that's meeting you the other halfway there, right? So you meeting the actual action that you know is going to get you into a better mindset, that is your effort meeting it there. So another thing may be, if you watch motivational videos on YouTube, if you know that every time you watch Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher, he gets you going, like he has you feeling like you about to be the next Jeff Bezos every time you hear him, right? And he really, like, he does it for you, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be having E.T. like on speed dial, like on your phone. Because that's the thing about the internet. It's like, if it is videos for you, your phone, your device, whatever it is that you're using to watch this right now, it's so accessible to you that they're literally there waiting for you. They're waiting for you to meet them halfway. So if that's what it is that gets you motivated and gets you going, then you know what to do. Now, flip side about this, like the motivational, or I guess anything that can get you going, procrastinators can say that like, okay, I'm just watching this video to get me going, and then you find yourself down this rabbit hole of you ain't doing nothing but watching videos kind of thing. But okay, when it's time to cut the video off and take that momentum that you've gained from, the motivational talk, and to actually put it to work. So that's just a disclaimer right there, because this is not an excuse for a procrastinator to be a procrastinator. No, do what you need to do to pick up the momentum and to pick up the motivation that you need to keep it moving, to do what you need to do. But once it has served its purpose, you can always come back to it later when you actually need it again. But don't let all your energy go towards literally watching videos, and then you look up and you're like, dang, I don't even really have time right now because I got to do all these other things to do what I was trying to do. Like, so don't let that be your downfall, I would say, or your excuse. Don't let that be your excuse, because everybody knows when they're doing that. In the back of their mind, they know like, all right, I should probably put this down right now and actually get to work, actually get to why I came to watch this video in the first place. So I hope that if you do find yourself in like a scenario like this, that you'll think of me, and I'll be like the little angel on your shoulder, like, now he did what he had to do. Now it's your turn. It's your turn, okay? Now cut this off. Go do what you have to do. If you find yourself back down, whatever, then come back. Same thing again. Keep doing what you have to do, all right? So first thing is identifying the motivator, that when you do feel like energized and you feel a little bit of hope, right? Because they come and they go when it's like a cyclical process. But a little bit of hope, it can get you a long way when you play on that, right? And you just keep introducing that into your life. Like, make it a routine. Make it a routine. Habitual things. Make it a routine, right? And so the next thing that I would say is, once you found a motivator, the next thing you need to do is literally take things. People say this all the time: take things day by day, take things one step at a time, right? But no lie, you have to take things from, depending on where you are, the little things really add up. Yesterday in the video, I was saying how environment for me, and for a lot of people, I believe, really makes a big difference in my overall mindset, in my productivity. Like, it just makes a big difference in the way that I even just view the world and everything around me. Like, it can go from being really negative to really positive, and vice versa, just depending on like what I'm surrounded with. And so it can feel really like overwhelming and daunting, even when you feel like you've been kind of stuck for so long, that when you do look at the environment around you, you feel like, where do I start? Like, how do I even start from this place? Like, everything is just a shitty ass mess. Like, that's how it can feel, right? And so the idea of even getting started can make you, it's discouraging in itself. So it's like, where do you start? You start with the little things, because listen, everybody know, we walk past things every day, and the little voice inside of us, anything that we see that we could do something about it, whether it's major or minor, like the little voice inside of us always asks us like, you gonna get that? Or, are you going to do something about that? Are you going to say something about it? Like, the little voice recognizes, you recognize these things, and the little voice is always like, so how are you going to address this? Like, what is that? And a lot of times, y'all, it's basically like, is it important enough? I feel like that's the go-to. Or a lot of times people say like, well, I don't have time to wash the dishes right now. Like, I'm kind of in a rush, or whatever the case may be. But the little things that we walk past and we say, I'll just push that off for later, especially as a serial procrastinator. Let me tell you, like, the smallest, craziest little things, like, my daughter might have been playing with crayons, and there's like a bitten off piece of crayon on the ground, and I'm walking past it looking like, I know it's not going to fly its way to the trash can by itself. I know I'm not going to keep it around for her to keep biting on it. It needs to go in the trash, right? So if I know that it's not going to do it by itself, why should I walk past it 3 more times before I decide I'm going to take it to the trash can? Like, and these are the things that procrastinators do. These are the things that you might like start doing if you find that you've just been in a deep, dark, sunken place for a long time, because you just don't even have the effort to do the small things like that. Y'all, it's getting hot in here. Whew. But the small things like that, right? So small things go a long way. Start picking up shit the first time you seen it. Start wiping shit down as soon as you see that it needs to be wiped down. Like, start doing the little things, and you'll find that, because I don't want to say it was never a big deal, but depending on where your mindset is, it might feel like, I don't feel like doing that right now. It's just so much going on. I can't do that right now. But the more you keep doing those things and it becomes habitual and you're just like, it's nothing. It's nothing. I can pick this up right now. I won't be bothered with it later. Because the more you see it, it creates more stress. It creates more of that shit that you don't even want to see. So you start to get in the habit of, okay, that's nothing. Yeah, I picked this up on my way to the trash can. Like, I rinse my bowl out right now. I wash the dish right after I eat. Like, just little things like that. And then this has really worked for me. It got to the point where I said this in the video before too. Like, it was so much shit around me, like clutter in my home, really. And it was certain areas that were like just cluttered areas that I was looking at very discouraged in a way. Like, it's going to take forever to get through this shit. I don't have time to do this, like making excuses. And by doing those little things and like, you know, keeping my house neat and things like that, then there was like these pockets, right? These big areas that needed to be decluttered. And I just did them. Like, I just started to feel a little bit more encouraged to say, like, I can do that because I've been doing da-da-da-da. And if I'm going to put in the work every day, these little things and like keeping it neat like this, like there's no reason why I should have this big ass eyesore over here, you know? So the little things really add up, because then your perspective starts to change about what's a little and what's a lot. Because like I said in the beginning, little shit that's on the floor, or this is an example of that my husband's probably going to laugh at, because listen, I'm still working on this shit myself, right? But the other day I seen a spider, and y'all, I'm not here for the creepy crawlers, but I seen a spider, and I left that for my husband. And so when he seen it later, I was like, I basically acknowledged that I did see it. And he's like, so you saw it and didn't even get it. But like, creepy crawlers, that's another thing. But, you know, if this was something else, like something on the floor, like a piece of trash, something, it's like, then I would have gotten it. You know, this is what I'm saying. So little things go a long way. So the third step that I would say is don't bullshit yourself. Because you know when you're doing that. Like, we all know when we're doing that. Because like I said, that little voice in the back of your head is sitting here I'm really sweating because my glasses just keep sliding down my nose. But that little voice in your head will check your ass and tell you, you know damn well you should have picked that up the first time. Nothing was stopping you from doing that. You're just being lazy. You just don't, you know, or whatever. And so the more you keep doing these little things, the little things start to become minute things. They're like, it's not even worth thinking about right now because I'm on the bigger things. And then once you see that, you start clearing up your environment around you, you start doing things like that. You just keep moving on to the next level of like, okay, what's next? And don't be worried about if somebody else thinks that what you're doing is like not on their level, or for like, you know, because like I said, it's like, it's little things, but your mindset shifts every time you knock those things out the way, right? You like goal setting or whatever. So don't worry about the fact that you may be starting somewhere where somebody probably was like, that's little shit, like picking up little stuff. You should have been doing that anyway. Like, no, worry about where you are and try to see your way to where you're trying to go. Like, that's it. It doesn't matter what anybody, because the more you keep worrying about other people thinking this, that, you're going to be in the same spot and they're still going to be talking shit about you. So don't worry about it from that perspective. Just focus on what you're focused on. Like, whatever the challenge is for you, how big, how small, whatever it is for you, knock that out yourself and just keep moving from there. And you'll, oh my God, like once you start to feel that progress happening, like that will be your motivator. So you might feel like it's hard to find a motivator right now or whatever. I understand that. I totally understand that. But that will be your motivator, y'all. Like, that will be the thing that does it. I'm telling you, like, just start with the little things. Identify something that does. Maybe if you want to reward yourself afterwards. I know my thing is Starbucks, but you know, if you want to reward yourself every time you do complete a goal or something, it's like, you know, action, reaction. And you'll start to find that like I said, your mindset starts to change, because what you thought was small before, and I'm sorry, what you thought was a lot before starts to be small to you. So then your goals get bigger, you know, and the way that you see things starts to change. And then the way that you act starts to change. And then the results start to change, and then your life change. And that's how you form habits. So just do things routinely, habitually, and you'll find that it's like, it's not a big deal anymore. It's not a big deal anymore. But what you do find to be a big deal once you've leveled up to the next thing, you can tackle that too. It's just day by day and incrementally. So I just wanted to leave y'all with like actionable steps to get from one place to the next place, because I know how daunting that can be when you feel like when you feel like you're in a dark place that you don't see any light around you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just like, you don't even know how to get out of here. But that's what you need to do. You need to put up the effort. And I promise you, you will be rewarded with the rewards. And it'll just keep coming, y'all. It'll just keep coming. But you just have to meet it halfway. Like, you have to do your part. It's not going to come any other way. And I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it like it is. It's not. Believe me, I told y'all I was in this dark, lonely state for years before I started actually putting like the work in. And now that I have been, I'm just telling y'all, like, I don't know if y'all can tell through these videos, but like, I'm telling you, it is the best feeling ever. And you really feel like, I can't believe that I spent all of that time just being miserable and being there. Like, I can't believe I spent so much time being there. But you can't dwell on that either. You can just keep it moving from where you are. Be grateful to see the next day. Be grateful for what you have, okay? So, y'all, I'm sweating like shit. All right, so I'm about to wrap this up because this is longer than I even thought it would be. But, yeah, y'all, so, you know what I'm saying? Just do that shit. I mean, I'm going to link Eric Thomas's videos down below if you don't know who that is. He's a really great motivational speaker, and he'll tell you you ain't shit until you get up and do something. So, so I'm going to link that down below for you guys. If you found value in this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one.